Now the topic before us is a comprehensive look at two types of legal tender. We are living in India. Here you have before us, this is the picture of a jewelry showroom, and this is the picture of car showroom. Suppose you visit the jewelry showroom to buy some jewelry, and suppose you purchase jewelry worth rupees 1 lakh, or you purchase a particular model of car, say for rupees 15 lakhs. Now you have to make the payment. Whether the jewelry shopkeeper or the seller of jewelry will accept the payment in coins, or you can purchase the car by making the payment of 15 lakhs in coins. If so, it may be possible that the car dealer may have to spend many days in counting the coins which it had obtained from you in return of the selling of the car. So in India, to avoid such type of situation, there is concept of limited legal tender. Limited legal tender. What is the meaning of limited legal tender? In India, the currency notes and the coins have been declared as legal tender. That is, you can purchase goods and services with the help of currency notes and coins which have been printed or minted by the government authorities. You can go to the market to purchase items, or in return of services you can make the payment in coins and in currency notes. This is the meaning of legal tender. But here, you in India, you cannot make unlimited payment by the way of coins, because it will create a lot of problem for the sellers and the businessmen. So now we will understand what is the meaning of limited legal tender. First, what is the meaning of legal tender? Legal tender refers to a form of money that a government has declared to be valid for transactions and settling debts within its jurisdiction. It means that legal tender means the money which the government has declared that you can use that currency notes or the coins for settling your debts and for the purpose of purchase of goods or in exchange of availing of services. But when the word limited is used before legal tender, it means that there are certain restrictions on the use of legal tender. Legal tender means on a particular type of currency. There are certain restrictions on the use of particular type of currency, which may be a particular currency note of smaller denomination or a particular coins. There may be certain restrictions. Now we understand the meaning of limited legal tender. Limited legal tender refers to a specific coin or banknote which is accepted as a legal tender up to a certain amount. It means that though the coins or the currency notes are legal tender, say within India, but they there are certain coins or the specific coins or the bank notes which can be used up to a certain amount only. Beyond this limit, a person may refuse to accept the tender. Suppose you have to arrange a birthday party. You go to McDonald's where you ask for burgers and Coca-Cola to be served to all your friends, and suppose the bill of the same comes to rupees 5,000. Whether McDonald will accept all the payment in coins of say rupees 1 of the coins of 50 paisa denomination? No, they will not accept the same, all the payment in coins, because these are limited legal tenders. Up to a certain limit, up to a certain amount, these coins are acceptable by the shopkeeper or sellers or the persons or any individual. These are acceptable up to a certain amount which has been prescribed by the government or central bank. Up to a certain amount, these are acceptable, but beyond that limit, you cannot force the seller or any individual to accept these coins, and no legal action can be taken against them. We have already read that when there is a particular currency has been declared as legal tender, you cannot refuse to accept the same. But in case of certain coins or certain currency notes, they may have been classified as limited legal tender, and beyond a certain amount, you cannot force any person to accept the same. Beyond that limit, other forms of payment may be required. That is, beyond that limit, you may have to make the payment by currency notes of higher value denomination or through internet banking. For example, coins are limited legal tender in India. In India, 1 rupee coin and 50 paisa coins are, these are limited legal tender. That is legal tender in limited quantities. 1 rupee coin can be used in India to pay for items up to 1000 rupees, and 50 paisa coins can be used to pay for items up to rupees 10 in India. These coins are not legal tender in other countries. These types of coins or the currency notes are legal tender only within the jurisdiction of that government which has issued the particular currency notes or the coins. For example, we cannot, if we are living in India and we are having currency notes in rupee, and if we go to USA, we cannot force a seller in USA to accept the same, because these coins or the currency notes which are in rupee are not legal tender in that country. Now, why limited legal tender? It is very difficult to carry and count the coins in large quantities. Further, it is also to prevent businesses from being forced to accept large amounts of low denomination coins. It may be possible that you are having some sort of enmity with a particular shopkeeper, and you go to that shopkeeper and purchase goods worth thousands of rupees from him, and in exchange you give him these coins. So to avoid such type of scenario, the government of India or the central bank has classified these coins as limited legal tender. that is beyond a certain amount, these coins will not remain legal tender and the seller may refuse to accept the same above a particular limit. These are acceptable up to particular limit. These will coins will remain legal tender up to a certain amount. The limitations on legal tender are usually specified by the government or central bank that issues the currency. Next is unlimited legal tender. We have learnt that legal tender is of two types: limited legal tender and unlimited legal tender. Limited legal tender we have already read. Now we will read unlimited legal tender. Here we have before us currency notes of different denominations which are used in India. There are other currency notes also in India. Here we are just giving the example of a few currency notes which are used in India, and these are unlimited legal tender. That it, in other words, we can say that we can use these currency notes to make the payment for goods, or we can avail the services of other persons and make the payment in these currency notes. Under this, money has to be accepted as a medium of exchange up to any amount. There is no restriction that these currency notes can be accepted up to a certain limit only. It can be paid in discharge of a debt of any amount. You may be having debt of say rupees 10 lakhs, you can make the payment by the way of these currency notes. A person who refuses to accept this money may face legal action. In India, paper notes and currency are unlimited legal tender. We are talking about the legal tender status in India. Banknotes are unlimited legal tender and the coins are limited legal tender in India. That is, by use of the coins, you with the help of coins, you can make purchase up to a certain amount only, and the shopkeeper or the seller may refuse to accept the coins after a particular limit. Up to a certain amount, these coins will be acceptable. Now, the question is why banknotes are unlimited legal tender? It is because these are more easily transportable. If we have coins before us and we want to make the payment, it will become very bulky and it will become very difficult for us to transport it from one place to another to make the payment. But if we have with us say 500 rupee banknote or the currency notes of 200 rupee or 100 rupee, it is quite easy for us to count the same as well as to transport the same from one place to another. Further, they are less prone to counterfeiting than coins. Generally, banknotes have more sophisticated security features. If you go through any currency note which has been used by you, irrespective of the country in which you are residing, you will find that the currency notes have many security features. It is not that you may use any type of paper and do colored photostat of the same. No, it will not serve the purpose. There are many security features in the currency notes such as holographic strips, micro printing, color shifting inks, raised printing, and much more, which makes it very challenging to counterfeit notes compared to coins. It means that coins can be easily made counterfeit. That is, it is possible that there may be fake coins, but it is very difficult because the paper used in making the banknotes is available in only very few countries, and the government or the central bank may have to import it from that few countries because a particular type of paper or very superior quality paper is used in printing of the currency notes. Now the question is, in India, currency notes are limited legal tender or unlimited legal tender? We have already read that the coins are limited legal tender, whereas the currency notes are unlimited legal tender. That is, with the help of currency notes, we can make purchases or we can avail services up to any amount. So the answer is unlimited legal tender. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.